Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We need to talk. One Piece chapter 1069. Now, I have been saying that I was going to make a One Piece YouTube channel for the longest time now. I've been reading this series week to week since Punk Hazard. I've been in the depths and the shadows of this community, just lurking, just waiting for the right time. And today is that day. It is when the chapter I'm reading the scans today. Normally these scans come out on Thursday night. It is early as hell. It is Wednesday, 8 p.m. And today, One Piece chapter 1069, I had to make a video. I threw a YouTube channel together. Doesn't even have channel art. I figured out how to just make a video. I just threw everything together because I just had to get out these thoughts, because in this chapter Vegapunk talks about DevilFruits, and when I was listening to this man describe his quote unquote theory, I came out with a theory, and I just have to talk about it today. So in this chapter, right, Vegapunk he runs up to the stratum over up in Egghead, and he's watching the fight between Luffy and an awakened Luffy in Gear 5, by the way. Can't believe we saw it this early. It's amazing. And this is what he says. And by the way, this is a Scanlation site. I've never actually read this site. Normally I read it on TCB on Thursday, but it came out early and I had to get to it, so I look forward to reading the official translation and reading other translations so I can, see the nuance with the wording and stuff. Things could change obviously a little bit, but this is what we have for now. So Vegapunk, he comes up, he's asking the Straw Hats about Luffy. All right, they don't really know. He's just kind of like trying to figure it out himself, and he comes out, he tells him about DevilFruits. He says DevilFruits have the same concept. He says DevilFruits are the potential of humanity's evolution and that humanity wished for. He says they think, right, wouldn't it be nice if it was like this? Or wouldn't it be great if I was like this? And these powers are the representation of those future desires. And these abnormalities they're abnormal to nature. So the sea, which is the mother of all nature, dislikes them. It tries to bury them when they get caught in the sea, right? Which explains why they sink. And he says that these so-called Devil Fruit users are beings living in a completely different scale that many people wished and envisioned. And he says that this is his theory. Now, when I read this, the first thing that I thought of was Berserk. And that might seem a little odd, but stay with me here for a second, because in Berserk there's something called causality, which I'm sure many of you know. And in causality, there's something behind the scenes pulling the strings, right? We don't really know, but it's God. It's this idea of God or whatever it is. And in Berserk, we don't really know fully, right? They haven't gotten fully into it, but at least on the Berserk wiki they say that God in this story it's an idea. And the idea is the will of humans' collective unconsciousness made manifest. Now, the way Vegapunk words these things, right, and like I said, the wording could change. I know theories are going to run rampant, right? You can go a million different ways with this, but what I think it is, where I think Oda is going with this is very similar to how the idea of God is in Berserk. I think that in the world of One Piece, right, will is very strong. We see will manifest in many different ways. Observation haki, conqueror's haki, armament haki, right? You can use it to see the future. You can use it to hit people that are, fire or ice or whatever. You can use it to sense people's presences, right? Fujitora can sense people when he's blind, but he can see their soul or their being, right? And it manifests in so many different ways, right? And it also manifests through time, right? People's will don't die. People pick up other people's will through time. Luffy has Roger's will and Ace's will and all these people, and it just keeps going out down history, right? It's the flow of time, a man's dream, right? All these things. And I think that what this is here is essentially exactly what it is in Berserk, pretty much. Like, people's will, the mass collective desire to do something can be made manifest. So people in the One Piece world, all around the world, right? Hundreds of thousands or however many people, right? They think, wouldn't it be cool if I could shoot fire from my hands? And because they think this and because they wish this, and there's so many of them that do this, collectively and unconsciously they manifest the DevilFruits, right? They manifest Ace's fruit or Sabu's fruit, right? Or maybe a bunch of people thought, I would want to be a Buddha, and there's Sengoku's fruit, right? And I think this has a lot of potential, and it can go a lot of different ways, especially because when you think about how you see a lot of times it lines up where Luffy is Joy Boy, right? He's the warrior of liberation, and he is obviously naturally very kind. He brings smiles to people's faces naturally. He's a friend. He wants everybody to be happy, right? Much like Joy Boy. And like many people theorize, right, that fruit might have picked him. Or how Ace, he had a very fiery personality, and he ended up with the flame fruit, right? Or Aokiji, right? He's a pretty cool, laid-back guy, and he's got the ice fruit. Or Lucci in this very chapter, right? He's all about the blood, and he's got this carnivorous Zoan, right? That is, it kind of just lines up where it would make sense to where these people who are manifesting these fruits, right, are the very people that are reaping those rewards. And they're like, I'm not entirely sure exactly where this whole thing goes. I just came up with this idea literally 45 minutes ago. I just had to make a video and get it out there, so that people could hear it and hopefully add to it or whatever it is. But I think this is the direction Oda might want to go with the DevilFruits. And I don't know, it's possible that maybe in ancient times, right, in the ancient kingdom and all that, they had a technology maybe that was able to bring this will to manifest. So maybe Vegapunk is kind of right, he's correct, like he's hitting the nail on the head, but he's missing a piece where maybe the reason why they reincarnate and the reason why they were able to be manifest wasn't simply because people were manifesting them from their own will, but because there was also something in the ancient kingdom. Maybe it has something to do with this ancient fuel, or I don't even know, but that was able to kind of bridge the gap between actual magic and what we see with DevilFruits. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope some people can help me add to this theory and just keep me running with it, because I really think this is the direction Oda's going, and I think it's one of the better directions that he can go, because when you think about, when he says, these are the wishes of the people, and it begs many questions, right? If these are people's desires, then how did they become reality, right? I mean, was somebody granting these wishes? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I feel like in a world like One Piece, where will is so important and it has so many different applications, that it is possible that as a whole, when all of humanity is thinking the same thing and having the same idea, they could unconsciously manifest through their will these mystical things that are abnormal. And humans do this all the time, right? I mean, you look at Egghead Island, right? This stuff is mostly not natural, right? When the gods of One Piece or whatever, when people were first coming out, right, and it was nature, and humans were just walking around, living like most of the people in the One Piece world do, right, pretty primitively. It's human nature to branch out and to become more advanced and to do it just like in our world today, right? We don't necessarily listen to the rules of nature, and I think DevilFruits might be the absolute pinnacle or apex of humans' ability to, I don't know, get around nature or whatever it could be. So tell me what you guys think. I'm definitely very excited to just keep reading One Piece. I mean, it has been just a ride. This final saga has been awesome, and yeah, just tell me what you guys think. Later.